what time it is! Dome City! In the link! We stood on business, baby. Let's go!
Bang, bang, Niners. Big win on the road. Let's go. On to the next. Let's get it.
Keep going. You too, bro. Hey, keep going. Great job. Always. Great game, bro. Great game.
What you gotta do?
Yes, sir.
I can't tell you guys how proud I am of this team. Guys, the coolest parts to me was the first quarter. Hey, I mean that, because we didn't come out the way we thought we could. All right, I appreciate everyone in here, man. That was a hell of a team win, a hell of a game. We got a hell of a team. Awesome job. Let's go.
Go, man. Come on, Let's go, baby. Let's keep working, man. Niners on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Take us through the hit coming out of the game, coming back. How did you feel? Did you feel like something was off? Did you feel fine?
It was obviously an assessment in that moment, and everybody was doing their jobs and doing their roles, and I was able to come back when everybody felt like I was ready to.
Was it important for you? I mean, I think it was might have been a 2-touchdown, maybe even a wider than that when you came back in. Was it important to you just to come back to show everybody you were okay?
About showing anybody anything. It's more so the game's not over. So, you know, just trying to keep fighting.
Jalen, how disappointed were you that you weren't able to get touchdowns early and you had a couple field goals instead?
Yeah, when you think about you know, how important it is to start fast, and I feel like we started with good rhythm, good tempo, good execution for the most part, and we just kind of weren't able to connect and execute like we wanted to in the red zone. And you know, when you're playing a good team like that, that gets you. You know, every little thing matters. So much credit to them in the way that they played today and how they executed. You know, I think for us, we just have to do a better job of controlling the things we can and playing cleaner. You know, they played well and took advantage of the opportunities, and that's a really good football team. Really great players, and they did a great job today.
Last game, you said you didn't know quite how to feel. After this one, where are your feelings and where do you go from the game
Win, you know, find ways to win. That's always the mentality. That's always the approach, you know, and I think this is a moment where you go back and you reflect on it, you learn from it like every win, and, you know, you treat them all the same. You know, when you win or when you lose, it's about what can I learn from this. So, you know, the process remains the same in terms of how we respond and how we approach it. Just have to be self-critical, as we always are, and analyze everything as it's supposed to be and respond. It's not a matter of winning or losing. It's just about playing to the standard, and we didn't play to the standard. Typically, when you play to the standard, you win, and I don't think we played to the standard and won yet. You know, we didn't play to the standard, and today we lost. So it's a great team we played, and we have to go back and reflect on it, learn from it, watch the film, and grow.
That's concentrating. 5 straight games now where you fall behind at halftime. How difficult is it to keep climbing out of a hole like that?
about execution. It's about execution. Regardless of the situation in the game, whatever it is, it's about executing. You know, when we do that at a high level, we get that rhythm going. We're complementing each other defensively, offensively. Covey doing a great job in the punt return game. The gunners striking down there on punt. When we're playing complementary football, we're pretty darn good, and we just have to do that. We have to do more of that. And so that just takes great preparation. That takes, you know, being eager and having a growth mindset and wanting to learn. And, you know, everybody's going to want to do that. Everybody needs to want to do that.
Did you have, on that 4th and 2 play, it was after you got hurt and Nick decided to punt. This is at the end of the 3rd quarter. Were you involved in that discussion at that point, or were you, because you had to deal with the whole protocol thing?
I don't know that I was. I don't think I was. You know, I don't know if we, you know, knew how far away we were from it, but, you know, in a game like that, you definitely want to, I mean, you want to be aggressive, and we have been aggressive in the past, but, you know, we always support whatever's call is made in that situation. We just got to execute. You know, I don't even think we should have been in that situation, to be honest. So, you know, we learn from it and grow from it.
Jalen, you mentioned the complementary nature of football. Sometimes the offense picks up the defense, vice versa, special teams. In game, when do you feel being in that deficit, how things change in the moment?
You know, you have momentum in the game. There's always momentum swings, and I think whether there's momentum or not, it's just about how we execute. You know, that's what I lean on, and that's what this team leans on. And, you know, when you execute at a high level, you know, good things happen. And so I'm eager to watch the film and learn from it and assess it. And we have the opportunity to evaluate ourselves on that and learn from it as a football team.
Fletch said this team cannot separate. What's your role in ensuring togetherness this week as you head into another tough game on Sunday?
You know, it's just, you know, nothing changing in that process, keeping the main thing, staying true to that, staying true to who we are, and learning from it. You know, win, lose, or draw, it's always a deep, deep dive into what we can be better at, looking ourselves in the mirror and responding to the mistakes that we've made and also to the successes that we've had. And so it's no difference here. You know, it's about how we respond, how we are approaching it, and how bad we want to grow, how bad we want to better ourselves. And so that's the mentality moving forward. And obviously, that has to be done together as a unit.
Before you watch the film, in these hours before you watch the film, is there a play or sequence that's really going to bother you?
I mean, it's just execution. You know, having the opportunity to, I mean, you played in the first half, you know. We preach trying to score in the red zone, and we've done a pretty good job of doing that in the past few games. We've made a big jump there, but today we didn't. We weren't able to. And it always helps scoring touchdowns, and we didn't do that enough.
Cam, you had some chances to make stand plays. There was a slip and then another sack later. What were you seeing, and what were some of the corrections in the middle of the game after those sequences?
You know, slipping. I just slipped. Just slipped. Was trying to make a play, extend the play. Had an opportunity there. But that's kind of what it is. You know, some things happen. You know, we watch the film. I can't really speak on too much now, but when we watch the film, we'll look at it and learn from it, and definitely take it with the growth mindset approach.
Well, our first drive, we came out through the ball 3 times, and I'm a huge fan of giving Christian McCaffrey the ball, letting us block for him. Yeah, that's my thing. I'm not going to argue with Coach Shanahan on that one, but I love running the football. Like I said, I think our offensive line, tight ends, fullbacks, you know, they block their tails off, and our wide receivers did too down the field. We're allowing Christian, you know, to break a couple tackles, get in there for 8-10 yards, and then Debo did a lot of it too.
At what point did you feel like we got this? Like we're in control of this game? There's a lot of points that you could look to.
4 minutes left in the game, maybe. Okay. I never think any game's over, man. You never know, especially with an explosive offense like that. You got Hurts, A.J. Brown, Smith, Swift. Like, they got a phenomenal team, so they can put points on the board in a hurry. So I was just proud of our offense being able to stay on the field for as long as we did, because I feel like we kind of took control over the game starting in the second quarter.
What did you say about Brock's performance?
Consistent. He's just doing the same stuff he's been doing. He's fantastic. gets us in the right play calls, doesn't let anything get too big for him. He's great in the huddle, and made a lot of plays. Well, he delivered when he needed to, made big throws when he needed to, checked it down when he needed to. Just played all around good quarterback.
What was your view of anything different from him because of coming back here? No.
Just consistent Brock. He does the same things every single day, every single week. And when you're consistent like that, when you build a routine like that, that allows you to go out there and succeed. 10,000 reps is a real thing. He's taking all those reps. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he needs to do. He knows who to get the ball to, and our office did a really good job with that.
What was your view of what happened with Dre and the security guy for the Eagles? And
I haven't seen a clip of it yet. I mean, I just saw what you guys saw on the replay board. No idea. I didn't even know the security guard touched him. So, I think they'll sort that out. I don't really have an opinion on it.
That was in the midst of your 6 touchdowns, but how important was it specifically to score following Dre's ejection?
Absolutely huge. That drive started with a penalty. They get to start the ball at the 42-yard line. Then that play happens, another 15 yards. They score a touchdown. The fans are into it. This is a lethal stadium. The crowd is fantastic. And so for us to be able to answer and go all the way back down and score a touchdown and kind of, we didn't silence them by any means, but just kind of like put that out for just a second, and our defense responded, and we were able to go down again. It was very helpful for us.
Does Debo sometimes still surprise you with like the 4th, 5th gear that he seems to hit?
Yeah,
speed-wise.
Yeah, it's the acceleration. He gets hit, and all of a sudden, three steps later, he's running past safeties and stuff. And so, you always, whenever. It's really fun to be part of an offense that when any single person on our team touches the ball, that if you're giving a little extra effort and you're blocking somebody, it could turn into a house call. And that's what our team did tonight. And you saw a lot of those. And Debo did a fantastic job. Every time he gets a football, it could be a touchdown.
They played 92 snaps against the Bills. Was there a sense that if you guys were able to put things together consistently, that there would be opportunities late in the game, breaking tackles, things like that?
I mean, we feel like that every single week. We really do. If we can just stay on the field as an offense, we feel like we've kind of gotten our rhythm down. And as long as we're staying on the field, keeping our defense fresh, we're very confident in our ability as a team to win football games.
George, how much of the January game?
Yeah, I think, sometimes it takes a little bit longer than you want to get going, but like I said, the defense steps up huge, and once we got going, we just stuck to the script, and like Trent said, we got the ball on the ground a little bit, and got him in a couple different positions that we wanted him to be in, and the guys did a great job blocking all day and making plays downfield.
You're so stoic right now. What does it feel like
Feels
to just
great.
get that? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it feels great. Anytime you win, especially against a good team like that on the road, it feels great. And I think we know what we can do, and it's just about getting better every week.
They played 92 snaps. The defense played 92 snaps against the Bills. Did you guys feel like if you put something together and were consistent, things would start to eventually pop for the offense?
I think for me, it's just always about playing one play at a time. Each play has a life of its own. You don't really know how the game's going to turn out. You kind of have a plan going in, but there's so many things that happen and adjustments that you make in game, and that's why I'm not a coach, and I just leave that up to them, and whatever plays called, just go out and execute.
Can you just, the first 2 series of the game, they're moving the ball down, just how much of a lift did it give you guys to keep them out of the end zone?
Yeah, no, it felt like they were having their way early. We knew coming in that we had to stop the run game. I think we did a great job of that all throughout the game. They had some big 3rd down conversions there on those first couple drives, throwing the ball to 11. And I can't speak enough to holding them to 3 in those red zone ops that they had. I think the game plan that we had, especially down there in the red zone, was on point. It was just about executing, making sure that Jalen didn't beat us with his legs down there. Because they obviously love to run him down there in those crucial moments. So it was big time. Debo is one of the best football players I've ever seen. Performances like that don't surprise me. It's only a matter of time when he does, kind of pop off like that. And, people were saying things about things that he may have said before the game, but I think it's safe to say his actions spoke louder than his words. So.
There's so much going into this game, put up last year and all that that's surrounding it. Overcome all that and be as dominant on both sides of the ball. How efficient was this game for you guys on both the offense and the defense?
I mean, I think the thing I'm most proud of is the resilience throughout the game. Like we talked about just a second ago, it wasn't pretty in the beginning, and we talked about trying to win a grimy game. And I know the score is what it is, but on defense, we didn't take the ball away all game, and then at the beginning of the game was what it was. And then we lost Dre, midway through the game. So it was some things in there where we had to make sure we rebounded and we got back to work. And I mean, I can't speak enough about how great of an overall team that we have. I mean, it's the best offense, most explosive offense I've been a part of. I know if we take care of business on defense and special teams are doing what they're supposed to do, then we're going to have a chance every game. Say one more time. I mean, that's the feel for me, honestly. And like I said, obviously it's going to be like, man, grimy game. You won 42-19 or whatever the score was. But like I said, like in those the beginning of the game, those crucial moments where we had to stand tall in the red zone, the offense couldn't really get anything going to start the game, but then, bouncing back and getting the run game going and making those big plays, losing guys, penalties, shifts of momentum, but you guys stepping up and making the plays when they needed to make them. I think that was as grimy as it gets. Not quite sure. I didn't see it. He was talking to me saying he didn't do anything, and then I'm seeing their sideline, waving bye to him and all this other stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was such a big loss in that moment to lose him, but I can't speak enough to how big OB was. Oren Burks coming in and doing what he did, made some big plays for us in there when he came in and replaced Dre. So that was another moment where we had to, make an adjustment and stand up.
In your mind, does that sort of cross a line where it's a non-player and a non-coach on the other side engaging with the player?
Absolutely. I mean, that should never be, in question, like one of their guys interacting with a player on the sideline. So it is what it is.
Fiber of their being. What was your perspective on the focus that it took to pull that off?
Yeah, I mean, we knew that it wasn't going to be one of those games where we're just rushing up the field trying to get those sack numbers and all those sorts of things. We had to play a complete overall, defensive game where everybody's doing their job, doing their assignment on every given play because, they're liable to obviously get a big play at any moment. Jalen Hurts is an outstanding football player. I mean, you saw it all tonight, even him extending some of those plays. But, having played him last year and knowing how the game was going to go, we knew we had to stop him in the run game. And then, obviously, when he had to pass the ball, we had to keep him contained. And for the most part, I think we did that.
That's good. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Nick, what kind of challenge is that, to space that offense with a quarterback that can do so many different things?
It was definitely an assignment-focused game. We had to make Jalen focus on the rush more than looking downfield, and we knew that was the key to the game. So our whole mentality was we're not trying to set the record on sacks. We're trying to close the pocket. We're trying to get his eyes on us. And obviously a really good O-line, and he helps him out with how he evades, and you can't really pick a side when you're rushing those guys because Jalen's watching you. He's trying to get out of the pocket and win that way. So I think we did a really good job of just closing in on him.
What's happening there on those plays where he does have a lot of time and no one's open and he's pointing and
Yeah, you get a push and then he sees that, so his eyes immediately go off of his receivers and he's dipping and dodging. You have a guy in front of you. You're trying to keep him in the pocket, and it's tough. Obviously, you don't want to be blocked for 10 seconds on a play, but it was an unselfish mentality from everybody. And JK got 2, Khalil got 1. It ended perfectly. It was awesome.
How hard is it everything you guys are about is getting to the quarterback as quick as possible. How hard is it during the week to kind of retrain yourself?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different matchups every week, and some weeks you're going to hit your move and get the sack. But this week, the entire focus was closing it in, making him do what he does, and it was effective.
What kind of toll does that take on you when you're rushing for 10 seconds?
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot of running. It's a lot of power. So you're gassed out there, but you just have to push through. They're tired too because they have to block for a long time. But that was the game plan, and I haven't seen the tape, but I think we executed pretty well.
What does it mean? What does it say to come back here against this team and win in that fashion by that kind of money?
It means a lot. Obviously, we wanted some payback. We tried not to think too much about last year, but we knew we could match up with them and more than that. So I think we proved a good point. Obviously, we might have to do it again against them. They're a really good team, but I just have so much confidence in everybody, and I think the unselfishness throughout the entire team on offense and defense. Nobody needs to be the guy. There's 20 guys who could be the guy, and it just depends when your moment comes that you're ready for it.
Your perspective on the altercation when Dre ejected, and considering it involved a non-coach and a non-player, what are your feelings on that?
I definitely don't like when other people get involved. I don't know exactly what happened. Dre has been really the enforcer for this defense since we got here in 19, and that's what makes him who he is. So we're not going to knock him for being that. But in that situation, he knows he can't do that, and it was a perfect learning lesson at this moment. Down the road, I don't think he'll make that mistake again.
You mentioned confidence in the offense, 6 touchdowns in a row, 6 consecutive touchdowns. What does it do for you guys as a defense that knowing that if you home field goal for a couple times, that the answer's going to be there?
Right, yeah. I've never had this much confidence in the offense to stick with the run, even when they have a bear in there, or a couple bears, ginormous dudes that make it really tough. But Christian just makes something out of nothing, I think, every time he gets the ball. But yeah, we know they're gonna break through at some point, and the first quarter was tough. They brought it, but once you start wearing them down, I think both offense and defense, it was about wearing them down throughout the game. I think it'll be sore. Yeah. Yeah, it was it was hard to see on tape, but it was a scare that could have been worse, but I'm all good.
Nick, can I ask you about Debo? I mean, he sort of framed this as like a put up or shut up game for him, and it might be the best game of his career. I don't think he's ever had 3 TDs. You know, you've been around him for a while. What did you see coming in? Did you see him a little bit more?
I think he's the epitome of unselfishness. He got paid, and obviously that comes with a lot of pressure to be the guy. And when you have so many dudes, you're not going to get those ops very often. But I love the fact that he could talk and set the stage and walk into a hostile environment and just thrive. And that's what greatness is made of, for sure. Thank you.
The past 9 or 10 months, or however long it's been, how much did you put on yourself to be a tone setter in this game?
Didn't put too much pressure on myself, kind of going back and forth, at the end of the day, they beat us in the NFC Championship, and, we wanted to get back, but at the end of the day, it's just football, we talking trash, having fun, and, just came out here and got a win.
Kyle said he felt like you've been real close to a big game like this in recent weeks, just a miss here or there. Did you feel like you were close, and what kind of opened the door for you?
Just getting in space and open field and just breaking tackles, and, that's what I'm really good at, and Kyle put me in real good positions to make that happen, and did a good job at it today.
Did you have a feeling coming in that this could be there?
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. I was in that zone all week long. For us, they beat us in the NFC Championship, and at the end of the day, talking trash. I mean, this is part of the game. Hopefully, nobody took it to heart because it's just all fun and games at the end of the day.
There's so much hype going into this, obviously, because last year, a lot of talk going into this year, the big season and so forth. When you come out here as a team and yourself, the game you had and the game your team has, how sweet is a game like this?
It's amazing. How our defense played, they played outstanding. Special teams played outstanding as well. And, the defense had our back in the first quarter. And, we didn't play as well in the first quarter. And then after that, we just took off and started clicking on all cylinders.
This is a theme with your wardrobe. Is this you embracing the villain role?
Nah, man, it's just an outfit. I was like, I'm going to just go all black, and didn't know about other players wearing all black. And so, it all clicked and, fit came together well.
So today, what was the worst thing you've ever heard from Eagles fans? I saw you interacting with some after a touchdown, winning the bye. But was there a lot of animosity toward you from them?
I really wasn't even listening to him, to be honest. I was just so locked in and knowing all the noise.
And after the game, someone gave you a necklace.
Oh yeah, that's something that Huff did. He got hurt, so they gave me the chain, and for him, like I said out there, Huff, we still gonna keep pushing and pushing for him. Didn't want to see him get down, but at the end of the day, we praying for him and hoping for a speedy recovery.
They played, I think, 90
physically tired, more than ordinary, and then those two second quarter drives, like 98, 85 yard drive. Were those big body blows to that defense?
I don't know, but at the end of the day, we play our style of football, and that's real physical, and that's what we went out there and did.
A couple more for Devo. You tried to the game where things weren't doing well. What was that like? Did you feel like it was going to eventually pop, and obviously the defense kept them out of the end zone and left the door wide open?
We went 2-3 and out, so I think we had like -6 yards or whatever happened. So nobody was frustrated. Nobody was too high, too low. We just know what we're capable of and just had to get to doing what we do well.
Was there any much interaction between you and the Eagles players on the field? It was hard to tell from us.
Nah.
See any incidents or
Nah, not at all.
All right, thanks, Devo.
All right.
Was there any special something coming back to this place where you had the injury last year?
I mean, it was sort of in my mind. Yeah, man, I got hurt here. That was this year, late in January. But was it going to be the revenge game or anything like that? No. For me, it was week 13. We're going into it's a new year, hostile environment. We needed this game. We need this game. And obviously we have some really important games coming up too. So that's where I was at with that. I didn't want to get distracted by, I got to go back and show everybody what could have happened or what could have been. Got a new team. This is 2023, and that's where my mind was at.
When your offense is going as well as it did today, 16 possessions, touchdowns, how special is this performance from the entire offense when you guys just picked it up in the second quarter on and never took the foot again?
Yeah, I mean, outside those first two drives, it's like that's, the Niner football that we know. That's the offense that we know. When everyone's doing their part, everything's clicking, obviously. Some great play calls. And then, everyone just makes plays and does it the right way. We protect the ball. Defense does their job. That felt good. And that's what we're always trying to, obviously, do and be at. That's the standard that we know, and that's what the standard that we've set over the years. And so, that's what we expect out of ourselves.
Brock, so much was made of things Devo had specifically had said in the offseason and things like that. Did you get a sense that this week there was going to be a little something more behind him this week, and what did you think of kind of what he backed up?
Yeah, I mean, going into the week, obviously, Devo had a little something to him. That's just who he is, and he can do that. He's good enough to do that. And but was it a distraction or anything like that? No. Devo's practiced hard all week, every single week. He's done that, and he's been very consistent this year. And so, but going into this game, yeah, I mean, he had a little history with obviously the way things went down last year in the playoff game, and he's definitely looked forward to this game, coming back into this place. So he was pumped about it and stoked and ready to go. And man, all I had to do was give him the ball and some space, and he made the rest happen. So, really happy for him.
You had a Devo-like run early in the second quarter. The cornerback bounced off you. I mean, were you trying to knock him down? Were you just trying to run through the play? What was going through your mind?
Yeah, I was just trying to, extend the play and everything. I felt like I could shake him, once he tried wrapping up. So I broke that tackle, and then after that, I guess I laid my shoulder down, and I think it was at Blankenship. Yeah, but it was just a scramble. It wasn't anything like I'm going to pull a Devo here. So.
Can you go back to that first touchdown drive, Brock? It was 85 yards, and there were some third down plays. Just how important was it to get some points on the board? You got the lead with it. But there were times that we had to really battle to keep them alive.
Yeah, I mean, that was something, we've been harping on as an offense. Like, we want to be better on third down. Obviously, we've had some explosive plays on first and second down, but when it comes down to it in third down, we need it. We need to be better. And so this game to come out and be efficient on third down was huge for us. We'll set up, obviously, all of our drives to continue to go down and score. And, those third downs were huge. So I'm very proud of our guys. Everyone was where they needed to be. The O-line did a great job of handling everything with their front. They had a really good front. So we all felt good about it, the third downs. Yeah.
What was said, if anything, after the first two possessions? Any adjusted there at all?
No one was freaking out or anything. It was more like, man, we just got to get the ball rolling. We need a positive play. We need to envision and see a positive play and have some momentum be, created off that. So, and especially for myself as a quarterback, I just needed to see myself completing a ball, get a completion, get things rolling. And we did that. And so Kyle called some plays to allow us to get the ball out of my hands pretty quick, just to get into a rhythm. And once we did that, we rolled from there and we didn't look back. Yeah, it was huge. Defense was doing their thing, Going into the game, we thought they did really well last year in that game. And then obviously the quarterback situation happened, and then the momentum was given to the Eagles. And so for this game, the defense was like, now we're going to show them what we've done all year, what we started to do last year in the beginning of the game. And so for them to come out and get those stops, hold them to field goals, it was up to us on offense. Like, man, let's get their back. Let's get things rolling, get some points on the board or a touchdown, and that's what we did. So it was complimentary football, and we needed it.
Right. 6 touchdowns, like, is that even pressure you, or is it like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting caught up in it. It was literally every drive, we got to continue to put up points. We got to score. That's just our mindset. That's where we were at. Guys made plays. Kyle called a great game. Defense got stops. And that's our mindset. It was like, man, anybody can score a touchdown at any point with our offense and the guys that we have on offense. And so was I going, all right, that's 4 in a row, that's 5 in a row? I wasn't thinking like that. It was where we're at, where are we at situationally in the game? And we just wanted to keep the foot on the gas pedal and try to keep pulling away as best as possible.
I'm sure you want to score on every possession, but with a team like that has a history of making big comebacks, was that part of the impetus of like, let's keep our foot on the gas?
Yeah, no, I'm very proud of our guys, man, to be able to get up like that with 2 scores, and then Philly comes back, they get the momentum, Dre gets ejected, they score, and then for us to continue to go on a run and multiple runs to continue to score and have that lead continue to grow. That was huge for us, especially on the road in this kind of environment with that team, with Jalen Hurts and their great offense. It was huge for us to be able to get our momentum continue to roll. So that was huge for us. I think that was a big step for us as an offense.
You said you didn't have flashbacks or revenge or anything, but when you saw Reddick coming down and carrying on you, did you feel any certain way?
No. Like I said before, I mean, that was a football play. It happened. He was trying to get the ball, last game. That's just how it all happened. And so, going into this game, they have so many other good players. We weren't just Hassan Reddick. We got to be careful. Yes, obviously we honored and respected him and what he's done, but was I so concerned about him in the game? No. It was what the whole defense is doing as a whole. So he's a great player, and that's where we were at with that.
Did you talk to him before or after the game?
I did not. No. Yeah.
Go ahead, Brandon. Last one. I mentioned Debo this week. Was there anything specific you saw from him that he was saying or doing that gave you an indication about Debo's weakness?
Honestly, I mean, Debo's Debo, man. He's fun to be around. He's electric within meetings, and then obviously out in the practice field. In the locker room and stuff, maybe he was saying some stuff that was fun for all of us to hear in a sense. Like, Debo's just having fun with it, But was it anything out of the ordinary? I don't think so. I mean, Debo's Debo. He's fun to be around, man. So we all knew he was ready for this game. He's been waiting for it for a long time, and that was that. So his play did the rest. Thanks, guys.
Right. What is the deal with that? A lot of guys are going with the all black, but is that a certain something for this game?
I don't know. I think, me and Debo, we just great minds think alike.
So perhaps, I asked Debo who's embracing the middle role,
What do you say?
He offered less than you just did.
No villain role. Just trying to, save the season.
Can you speak to this, the offensive line play there? I think everybody had a certain key block somewhere along the way tonight. What did you see from your unit?
I won't be able to see the other guy until I watch film. But I just felt like once we got a chance to get the run going, we came out past it the first few plays, and the next drive we had a negative run coming out. So it put us behind the 8 ball a little bit, where we couldn't play 49er football, 49er offense, and be balanced for a few series, really the whole first quarter, and then we got the run game going, and that opened up the pass game.
What does it mean, what does it say to come back here against this team and in that fashion by that kind of margin?
I guess it's up to y'all to kind of interpret it, but I had full confidence that we would have this type of game from the jump. We got a quarterback, so it made it a lot easier this time.
So much talk about things that were said in the past. Do you get the sense though that he does enjoy kind of the moment like that presents itself, and maybe gives him something a little extra in a game like that?
I don't know. You got to ask Debo about that. That's just him. He's very, very upfront. He's gonna say his mind. He's gonna speak his mind.
What did you make of his performance?
I mean, he averaged almost 30 yards a catch.
What is you and Debo were wearing very similar shoes? Are they specific designers?
I don't know. These are Prada. I don't know what Debo got on, but like I said, great minds think alike, so it won't surprise me.
You mentioned your quarterback. Did you get any sense of Brock, that this was a big deal for him because of what happened here last January? Or was it
Nah.
same as always?
Same as always. Yeah. Same as always.
Offensive line, I think people outside the building, they know you, but they don't know the other four guys.
Yeah.
Not, frankly, not a lot of respect given to the other four offensive linemen on this team. What do you think about just, I know you didn't see them, but you probably have a pretty good sense of what kind of game they have. What do you just see from how that group is growing and getting better?
I mean, it's a young group. Obviously, I've been around for a long time, so people seem to know me. Obviously, 14 years in, but you look at Colt. You look at Colt's in his third or fourth year. Spencer's in his second year. Jake just kind of getting into that starting center role that he's been deserving of for a long time. Banks is on his third or fourth year. I wouldn't expect the league to everybody to kind of, it's going to take some time. It's going to take performances like this. And, honestly, that group ain't even worrying about recognition. Those guys are so, blue collar. They come to work every day. They focus on just getting better rep by rep. So, obviously, the more we win, the more people start to notice them. But I don't think that's a big deal. No. What? 22 miles an hour? Oh, he looked like he was running though. I ain't gonna lie. Okay.
Do you see that today, or guys that they make business decisions? I mean, that's just a line person moving fast with bad intentions.
Yeah.
What do you notice when he's doing that?
Yeah, you notice that cornerbacks and safeties aren't very, they ain't very excited to tackle him, and he knows that as well. He knows that once he gets that full head of steam, he don't gotta bring a lot of finesse to the party. Guys are gonna sit back in the chair and wait on him, and they know it's gonna be a collision. He knows it's gonna be a collision, but he got, great foot drive, excellent after contact. He always finished falling forward. He's a special player, and I think his performance today shows that he's a special player.
Anything else for Trent?
All righty.
How would you describe the way things went today? Were they more physical than you anticipated, or?
First off, let's not go there about the physical part, because I know how physical this team is. So I think today, as a defense, I don't think we did a lot of things right. We didn't tackle, we didn't cover. Obviously, we missed a bunch of plays. They made a bunch of big plays. We had a chance to keep the game close, and we did. The good thing is I've been around this league for a long time, and the good thing about the regular season is you take a loss, but we get a chance to line up and play another good team next week.
After a couple of really emotional wins for you guys, and you guys playing 90-some snaps against Buffalo, do you think there was a little bit of attrition in this game with all that?
No, I don't think it's that. I think that, we knew we were playing a good team. We knew we had to do what we needed to do. We knew that they could run the ball and they could throw the ball. We knew we had to get them out of rhythm. But we did. Early in the game we did, but kind of later we had some leakage in the run game. And again, I think we all feel it. We all got that feeling in our stomach. The feeling that we never want to feel. We didn't feel this for a long time. I think we won 5 straight. Now we just took an L. And the thing I do know about this team is make us so special is the way that we respond. Everybody kind of go back, and not that everybody's not been going back, but we'll take a break and come in, fix things on tomorrow, and get ready for the next game.
After a couple of good drives defensively to start this game, what changed?
Nothing. Like I said, we started the game hot. They made some plays. We made some tackles. As a defense, we got to hold ourselves accountable for that. But I think at the end of the day, everybody played the balls off. We just didn't make enough plays on defense to win the game.
Did you think it would be possible for any team to score 6 straight? They scored 6 touchdowns in 6 straight possessions. Would you even think that's possible against your guys' defense?
It's the NFL. They get paid to play too. So let's be honest. That's a really good football team we just played. And the good thing about it is there's a chance that we get to see them again. And maybe things will be different. But I know it'll be later in the season, and this is one of these games we got to look at each other, and like I just said, hold each other accountable and move on.
Are you hoping to have that chance to see them again?
Yeah.
Why do you think missed tackles were an issue in this game?
If you watch the same game I watched, I think we missed a lot of tackles. A bunch of yards after the carry. Missed some stuff in the hole. There's things we normally don't do. So we get a chance to go play another good football team next week.
a division game. You know, we know them, they know them. We know them, they know us. They won some games in a row. They've been hot. They've been playing at home, so we got to go on the road. You know, you want to be a good team on the road. You want to be a good team, win games on the road.
Fletcher, so much was made before this game about trash talking and all that. Was there any of that going on the field? There was obviously the altercation there with Donald.
I don't get into none of that, man. I'm grown. I'm an adult. I'm a pro. I don't get into the whole trash talk deal. I'm here to play football. I'm here to do that. I've been doing it for 12 years, and I've been doing it the right fucking way, all right?
Fletcher, you talked about the idea of bouncing back. Can you kind of elaborate on, you've seen this happen before, and the key to coming back strong?
Just make sure this team doesn't get separated. You know, making sure this team will get separated, making sure everybody's staying together, which I know it would do. Coach, Nick do a great job of making sure this team's staying together. Nobody's separating themselves from one another. Nobody's going to eat lunch in their car. Everybody going to eat breakfast in the cafeteria. Everybody going to eat lunch in the cafeteria. Everybody's going to still joke around, play pool, shuffleboard, ping pong, all those things we've been doing all year. Is going to continue to do it because this is the kind of team that we have.
On the one, there was a false start. Encroachment, not encroachment, but offsides. The penalties, the little things caught up with us today.
And what were you able to do with you guys after the first two drives when you held them to -6 yards? What happened with that?
I just think, in those moments, we got to capture those moments. We got to, score points. I mean, field goals is cool, but, we really trying to, go up as fast, capture that momentum. But we didn't do that today as a collective, and, we going to own that together. And what I do respect is 49ers came in, did their job. It came out, they executed their game plan. They stayed with it. And, little things caught up to us today. Penalties, all the little stuff. But, much credit to them.
What do you think it did to the vibe of the?
They got a bunch of players, and we got a bunch of players too. But they made the plays today. We all special, and we all go out there and we play hard. But I just think that they carried out their game plan a little more today, and I just know that it's much credit to them, and I know that we gonna fight to make sure we get it right, and get this bad taste out of our mouth.
What will your message be in the locker room this week?
Stay focused. Stay with it. Learn from this. Learn from the little things that kept them in the game. I know Sweaty was feeling bad, on them offsides because, lining up in the neutral zone. We always talk about just little stuff that could hurt us, and I know that I got his back. I know that he gonna, make it right, and we gonna be good. And that's what I like. I know that we gonna give our best shot in practice this week. We gonna keep on working, and 10-2. All right, let's get it. The main goal is winning every week and trying to get this bye for the first round, and we gotta beat the Cowboys next week. And so much credit to the 49ers though.
When the defense is really struggling to tackle, bring guys down to the ground, what's kind of your message to the team to keep them focused? Because tackling honestly kind of caused a lot of problems.
Yeah, it was a lot of that, and I know a lot of guys wish that they could have it back. Even when me and Mora was talking when what's the name, Debo scored off the missed tackle off he had, and we just know that it was just one of them games that, dang, they got us. And like I say, much respect to them. I know that we're gonna come back ready to go tomorrow. We're gonna learn from it, see how they was hitting us, and you're gonna see the little things that caught up to us. The penalties and crucial moments where then can't get off on third down. That was big. But yeah, like I say, they made their plays, and that's what you do in these games. And you gotta try to capture that momentum. And I felt like in the beginning it was going. But we got to score touchdowns, and of course, I ain't putting no blame, but I'm just saying, I'm just stating the obvious. In these type of games, you got to make sure that you, take full advantage of these moments. But much credit to the 49ers because they did, and we just didn't today. It wasn't our day today.
BG, what did they change offensively on the first touchdown drive that they were able to score, as far as Purdy getting it to Ayuk and then kind of breaking things open? Because I feel like the vibe changed after that sequence. They went 3 straight touchdowns consecutively.
Well, I just think that when we was up 6-0, we knew it wasn't enough. We had to make sure they're gonna still run their offense, and they did, and they went down, scored. They started running the ball a little bit. This was probably the worst game we gave up. Some runs, and they, like I say, they played a good game, and all I know is I love this team. I know that we're going to get it right, and we can't wait to hurry up and get to practice and get this bad taste out of our mouth.
What do you see on that sequence where Dre Greenlaw got ejected and also Don the security for the Eagles? What did you think? There were people on Twitter who were saying that, a player should never be touched, and the Eagles security touched, Greenlaw first.
Well, who talking? You know what I'm saying? It's whoever, really talking. Is it 49ers fans saying that? You know what I'm saying? But I know that
at the end of the day, it's high emotions. We got to make sure that we always control those. That's what we talked about this week. We knew it was going to be one of those type of games. I mean, it was chippy, and I mean, both of them got ejected. So at the end of the day, I trust Dom. I know Dom, at the end of the day, this is the first time I ever seen him get thrown out of the game. But it just so happened that, like I said, it was one of those emotional games. It was words being said. I think he said something, and then what's his name tried to swing on him. I mean, hey, at the end of the day, it's one of those things where you got to control yourself. And I mean, I hate that both of them got ejected, but that's part of the game. And I know that, Dom, if you know Dom, you know he ain't putting hands on people. And, I know that he going to learn from this too. But all I know is, 49ers came and got the win, and we got much respect for them, and we'll see them again.
Do you think, if they're obviously one of the better teams in the conference, and so are you, do you think there's a chance to see them again? And
Yeah. I mean, they play hard just like us, and it's one of those games where if we'd have took advantage of those moments where we started fast, go up 14-0, different game, you know what I'm saying, different call and all that. But I just think that, we just didn't capture it like we should have. But much credit to them because they came out and they stayed with it and they made plays and, they ain't looked back.
AJ, how disappointing was it earlier to have to settle for a couple of field goals?
It's disappointing. When you drive down the field, you're trying to put it in the end zone. We come up short. I think it was just something that we were doing. I don't think it was nothing they were doing. I think it was just self-inflicted wound. So.
What was the biggest challenge in trying to establish a rhythm offensively?
The big challenge, man, it was flying around making plays. I think for us, it was just self-inflicted. We'll keep repeating, so.
Do you feel like they were letting them play a little bit back there?
I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, listen, I'm not going to get up here and complain about holding here or there because that happens every play, and it's my job to get them off. But, it's part of the game, too, so it is what it is. We didn't get that one, but, it's not the end of the world, that ain't something I'm going home thinking about, there's a lot of stuff we just need to clean up, like I've been saying. Just proud of each other, man. He had a really good game, kind of as I expected, because I just knew the emotion he was going to bring in this game. You just got to kind of match the energy. He's a great player, so yeah.
What did you see on the play where Devontae was kind of taken down on the sideline, led to a shot?
What did I see?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see anything. I just saw the extra stuff, afterwards, and I just came over there and tried to protect him. They were doing little stuff here and there, once again, but that's a part of the game, I think it happens in a football game, do little stuff here and there, try to get on their skin, I think we kind of got a little carried away.
Were you surprised to see Dre and Dom both get checked after that?
Like I said, I didn't know what happened, so I didn't know. So.
Dom's up next. It's like you guys can't catch a breath, really. Going back to work tomorrow, what's kind of the focal point when you start going through this film?
Like it always been, cleaning up mistakes, holding each other accountable. I think that's important, So.
Since you've been here, there hasn't really been a loss like this in this fashion. How do you get by? How do you get over it so quickly?
How you get over it? Yeah, you have no choice. You mope around and be sad and be mad at yourself about it. But we got a big opponent coming up next week in Dallas on the road. You gotta put your big boy pants on. In life. Everything gonna go your way every single time. If you think you're gonna go out there and just win in life every single time without blow, it's not gonna happen like that. So
How much can this be a chip on your shoulder going into next Sunday night?
Yeah, I don't need a loss to have a chip on my shoulder. I wake up with a chip on my shoulder. So I'm not motivated by a loss. So.
You knew that the Niners were going to come in with a high level of intensity.
Yeah.
How do you feel you guys, matched that energy?
I think we did at times, but I think, I don't know. I don't know. So.
If you guys are going to get to where you want to go, you might have to see them again. Have you thought about that, and what would that be like?
No, I mean, you can't really think about that. Most importantly, you got to think about Dallas. That's the only game we got coming up so far. And, a lot of things happen before the end. You can't look that far ahead. You look up, you get hit in the mouth again. So we got to focus on Dallas and clean up the mistakes, continue to grow, and Yeah.
Were you surprised that Jalen was able to come back in after he left?
Was I surprised? No, because it was kind of who he is. You know, I didn't. You know, me honestly, I didn't kind of want him to come back in. You know, he took a big. No, I didn't want him to come back in. He took a big shot. You know, and the game's pretty much over. And I didn't want to risk him getting banged up a little more or whatever the case may be. But that just kind of just show you the player. He don't want to leave his teammates out. You know, but so we understood. You know, so.
What could you put in words or kind of like quantify what I mean, you just said you didn't want him to come back in because he might get hurt more.
That's me. That's me thing. That's
No,
me
I know.
talking. I didn't know what was going on, but I just know he took a big shot. You know, the game was pretty much kind of over at that moment. You know, and I was kind of just looking out for him. You know, but you know, I really can't control that.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, putting into words, like, how damaging it would be to lose him. I mean, can you even put that into words? That
I mean, we don't got to talk about that because that ain't happening. So, yeah so.
Were you expecting there kind of physicality? And
For sure, yeah. Of course. Every time you play the 49ers, it's going to be physical. They're going to come in, and they're going to try to take over. That's what they do. You know, I honestly, I like how they play. You know, I like how the team move around. You know, they walk around with that chip on their shoulder like they're the baddest. You know, unfortunately, it was the best team today. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we'll see.
To follow up and get clarification on the question about intensity, do you feel like you guys matched their intensity in this game?
I mean, I think we matched their intensity, but you know, we're just making mistakes. You know, you can't make mistakes when other teams playing at a high level like that too. So regardless of we matching intensity, we make mistakes. It don't matter. So.
Do you feel like if you get another shot at them, an adjustment's going to be made and you can beat that team?
Oh yeah, that's always the mentality that we have. We feel like we're a good team. We just got to go in there and correct down mistakes and make sure we're all on the same page.
Was fatigue any factor? You guys played a ton of snaps last week, and you played 3 very competitive games. Is fatigue any part of that when you talk about missed tackles?
Nah, we just didn't execute and be physical enough, I guess. You know, at the end of the day, we got to get those guys down. Whether they had a longer time to recover than we did. At the end of the day, you know, professional athletes, and we're expected to make those plays.
after those first couple of drives, was there anything that really changed defensively that led to their touchdown drives?
I mean, you got their. I think they stuck to their skin. You know, they did a good job making plays when they needed to. At the end of the day, you know, they got good players over there, and they made the plays when they needed to. At the end of the day.
Do you feel like you guys matched their level of intensity in this game?
I mean, I know a lot of people talking about them running out for like pregame and stuff, and you could probably take that as them being intense and whatnot. But I don't think they was really that more intense. I think it was intense too. You know, we had 2 good first drives on defense. We just they just did a good job making plays down the stretch when they needed to.
You guys obviously have some pretty big goals for the season. That's a team you could see again.
Mm-hmm.
If that happens, do you feel like you'd be able to match up with them better tonight?
Oh yeah, I mean, we're gonna go in here, we're gonna correct our mistakes, look at the film, see how they try to attack us, and I know people down the road, like the next few games, they're gonna try to attack us the same way. We just got to make sure that we don't allow those same things to beat us.
4th and 2, you're on 33, down 15, 2.5 left.
In the third quarter? Yeah. To me, there was a lot of football left to play in the third quarter. On the what'd you say, 32-yard line, 33, right? Yeah. So that was I don't regret that decision. To me, that's, you know, with that much time where that ball is right there. Yeah, I did what I felt like I needed to do in that particular time.
Jalen's health factor.
Yeah, we didn't coach good enough. We didn't play good enough. It's as simple as that. And you know, why do you not do that? Well, you got to give credit to them too. That's a really good football team, and you don't come out and play your best game against the guys that they have and the coaches that they have. It's going to look like that. And so we got to coach better, we got to play better, and we got a lot to clean up.
Was Jalen's health a factor in that 4th down decision there?
No. No. So.
Did they do anything differently schematically after that first quarter when you got shut down 3 and out?
No. Yeah, I mean, obviously they started running the ball a little bit better. I mean, that was 6 plays, so it's hard to say that they made a complete schematic change after 6, because they went 3 and out. Our defense did a nice job, but to say that you know exactly what their game plan is after 4 first and second down calls and 2 third down calls, I can't answer that question. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just too small of a sample size to say they did something completely different. They started moving the ball, being able to run and play action, and again, hats off to them. They got a lot of good players and a lot of good coaches.
Nick, you haven't often been in a situation where you're down that big late in the fourth quarter, but what's the benefit of keeping the starters in?
Yeah, we're, like you, we're still down 2 possessions. We're seeing there was some time. We had our timeout still, and just trying to continue the game.
I think you were down 23.
Yeah, we're gonna fight to the end.
You're down at linebacker, but they clearly went at the linebackers. Why weren't they able to perform and even just kind of make tackles?
Yeah, again, hats off. That's a tough team to tackle. Now we take pride in our tackling. I think we've been pretty good this year. We're in the top 10 as far as missed tackle rate, but we didn't do a good enough job today. Again, that's us putting the guys in positions to be able to tackle, and then also them doing it. So on a little bit uncharacteristic day on our part as far as the tackling. You saw that lead to some big plays. And part of that is too they broke tackles, so they played really well, and we didn't play well enough, and they coached really well, and we didn't coach well enough. At the end of the day, that's what it is, and it was a little uncharacteristic the missed tackles, but Debo and McCaffrey and Kittle, those guys do a good job, and Ayuk, they do a good job of breaking tackles as well.
Was there a difference in Jalen when he came back in after?
No, I thought he was fine when he came back in and was running the show and operating fine. Went down, drove, and got a touchdown, and then we just stalled out on the next drive. But they're in a prevent. They're playing softer, giving us the stuff underneath. So, but I thought he operated fine when he came back in, and obviously we'll see how he's feeling and everything.
What's your reaction
Yeah, again, have to watch the tape, but it started off good as an entire offense, and we just in the red zone, we kind of had some red zone woes right there that we've done much better job of, and then it's just today they stopped us in the red zone, kind of got behind the sticks on one of them, and got into a 3rd and really long on one. I'll have to watch the tape exactly, see what happened there, but that was tough on us to start the game fast and only be up 6-0. But hats off to them. They did a good job in the red zone. And again, we didn't coach it well enough or execute it well enough.
Was there you, or did you stop yourself in the red zone?
Yeah, again, I'll always credit to them. That's a good football team. We're always going to want to play better, and when something like this happens, and coach better. But they did a good job. They got good players, and they had a good scheme, and they stopped us.
Sideline sequence when Don was sent off. What was your reaction to that?
What was my reaction to that? Yeah, we just saying that just knowing we had to move on and play the next play. And that's all we were trying to do in that scenario is move on, getting the ball down inside the 10 or the 12-yard line or something after the personal foul, and just regrouping and get everybody going and play the next play, just like we do when we have a bad play, a good play, bad game, good game. We're gonna have to pick ourselves up off the mat, just this week, going into this week as well.
You've got some players walking into the locker room and in the locker room that we'll see them again. This is the greatest disparity in loss that you've had now in 2 years.
Yeah.
Is that representative of the difference between those 2 teams, or is it just a 1 week thing where they just kind of get ahead?
Yeah, they got after us good today. Again, a lot of credit to them. They're a really good football team. We didn't play our best game, and they're really good. You can't play that way against and coach that way against a really good team. So we're going to take this one day at a time. I heard a lot of guys back and forth, talking about, play it again. It's going to happen again. But there's so much football to be played between now and then. There's so many other good teams also. So that can't be on our thought process. What's going to have to happen tomorrow is we're going to have to get the corrections of what we made mistakes on, and then go through our process. Anybody we play, in the NFC, we're going to make sure that we go through our process to say what happened, and then, kind of our game evaluation is if we play them again, here are the things that we need to do better. Here are the things that we may not have expected that they did. Here are some things that they did well that you can anticipate repeating. So we're going to go through that process, and if it happens, it happens, but we're focused on the next game. Again, hats off to them.
Nick, you're always kind of hyper-focused on 1 week at a time. There was a report about your messaging to the team from Jay about take it personally, the way they talked in hindsight. Do you think that was the way to go?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. But really what it was is kind of what I say to you guys all the time, as far as, hey, there were some things obviously said after last game. If you can use that if you want to use that as motivation, use it. If it distracts you, then don't. But make no mistake about it. The biggest motivation you always have is to play for each other. Yeah, I'm not going to second guess. I'll second guess everything I'll rethink through everything that I do or don't do. But as far as the messaging goes, right there. Yeah, that's what we're going to do with a lot of things. If it helps you, it helps you. If it doesn't, but play for each other. Same thing. With all that, try to play under control. There's been times we've used some stuff like that it's been good for us. Today it wasn't. And again, that's a really good football team, really good, well coached.
Couple more, please.
Two questions on that are kind of related. With Jalen going out, was that part of the reason not to go for it on 4th and 2?
No.
What was kind of the discussion about that, and also how do you see your play calling change whenever the defense is not as successful as the past couple?
As far as right there, again, with where the ball was, I thought there was a lot of football left to be played to be able to punt it back to them. You take everything into account. It was just the decision I made right there, and sometimes my decisions in those areas are going to work, sometimes they're not, and this particular one, it didn't work.
A lot of snaps last week, particularly on defense on short week 2. Did you think that fatigue was an issue in this game?
No. Again, everyone at this time of year is going to be, tired and all those different things. We won't use that as an excuse. I know we played a lot of snaps, but we just again didn't coach well enough, didn't play well enough today.
Can y'all feel that? Can you feel what's about to happen on this field, man? Can you feel what we about to get into? They don't respect us. They don't know about our heart, man. That thing is beating your doggone chest right now. Whatever you got today, I got to have it.